Happy Monday, everyone. Question of the day. Is cheating always wrong? Yes, in my book, it's always wrong. But a lot of people justify cheating as it's a mistake. It happened one time. I didn't meant to hurt you. Well, it's not a mistake, it's a choice that you made, and a choice that you were selfish enough to do something to hurt your partner and your significant other, that you lost their trust and their ability to trust you. So I want to talk about it, and let's just dive in, everyone, and let's get right into it. So welcome back, everyone, to That's It. So cheating is generally wrong altogether, okay? Because really, it's really common sense. I don't know how some people think that cheating is justified. It means that it's okay for you to cheat with your significant other, but it breaks all the rules, the trust, and the fairness of that you have with that partner. And I just don't understand how people could just justify saying that cheating is okay. Now, with that being said, if you have an open marriage and both of you are both on the same page that you could see other people or add other people into your marriage or your relationship, that's one thing, okay? Because you both spoke about it, you both were on the same page, even though, in my opinion, I don't agree with that. I feel like when you're in a relationship with someone, it should be with two people, not multiple people in the relationship, because it can get real messy and complicated. It can be all over the place. And I don't understand how anyone can handle multiple women or men. It's a lot of work. It's hard to deal with one man. Just imagine dealing with two. Just imagine dealing with three women or four. It's a lot of headache. One is enough, but I guess a lot of people want to experience, or they just have in their relationship is a lack of intimacy, lack of something in their marriage, that they have to bring other people into their marriage to make their marriage alive. That's an exception of the rule, even though I don't agree with it. However, cheating is just wrong. It's just selfishness. It's just a wrong thing to do. And then when you find out that your significant other cheated on you and they get busted, and then they start crying, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for it to happen. It was a mistake. Wrong. It was a choice. You made that choice. You made that choice to flirt with that particular person and to engage with that person, to pursue that person, because you knew that you wanted that person. So how can you say it was a mistake when it was actually a choice? And that's my opinion. It was a choice. It was your choice to DM that person. It was your choice to continue to flirt with that person. It was your choice. So when a guy or a woman say that it was a mistake, it's bullshit. Don't believe it. Okay, it was a choice that they made, that they knew in the back of their mind that what they were doing was wrong, reckless, and they didn't even consider of your feelings. They didn't consider of the replication that what happened. No, they didn't think, because they just knew that they wouldn't get caught. And until they found out they got caught, then they started crying, boo hoo, I'm so sorry, it will never happen again. Bullshit. Okay, once a cheater is always a cheater. And I stand by that, okay? And for me, it's just absolutely wrong. And the betrayal is just broken. The trust is broken. And how can you repair that? And to me, in my honest opinion, it's premeditated. Yes, it's premeditated. You hear these crazy stories that, there's something wrong in someone's marriage, lack of communication, lack of intimacy. They're not the same person that they were. Their children are off to college and they're empty nesters, and now they're just the two of them, and they just don't get the same thrill, the same attraction from their husband or wife, and then they tend to browse somewhere else, which that's not doesn't make it right, but it does happen. And when that does happen, and then they find someone that could, basically they're alive again. You know what I mean? Their energy, their bobito, everything is just alive again, because they met this particular person that make them feel young again, make them feel sexy again, make them feel wanted again. And next you know it, even though they know in the back of their mind that it's wrong because they're married, they're not divorced, but they just wanted it because they want that attraction. They want to feel loved. They want that companion, even though it's wrong to do. Again, selfishness. They're thinking about their own selfish needs above their own partner. Now, Cheating is just wrong. It's messy, and it can ruin families. It can ruin your lives. You can, if you had one slip up or two, and what if the other person really loves you? What if the other person wants to be with you and you don't want to be with the other person? That person could just ruin and destroy your whole life and your whole marriage because of that one mistake that you make. Because you get some crazy people out there unhinged that would just fall in love with you because you just had that one night with them and they think that they're in love. Okay? And was it worth it? Because you hear stories like that. Dateline, unsolved mystery crimes, and I watch all these crime stuff, and it really happens, and it really breaks my heart that you have a person who's unhappy with their marriage, instead of communicating with their significant other, they thought about lust. They thought about their own selfish needs instead of like going to marriage counseling, talk to the significant other, use every resource that you have to make your marriage work. And if you tried everything, if you gave it your best and your all, and you feel like you're still unhappy with your marriage, file for divorce. It's that simple. And a lot of people say it's easier said than done because you have a bunch of properties, you have stuff like that. Well, split it up. It's that simple. Split it up 50-50. Okay? Is it that much of a headache and go through like divorce lawyers and stuff like that because of your own selfish pride, because you just don't want to file divorce, so instead you just cheat and step out of your marriage because it's much simpler and easier for you because you don't want to split properties or dividends and stuff like that. It's just crazy. Get a divorce if you're really unhappy. Life is too short. Why waste your life? Why waste your time? Get a divorce. That makes no sense to me when I hear stories like that on Dateline, because I love Dateline, and I'm like super super a fan of Dateline, and I just don't understand couples when they cheat on a significant other. They end up poisoning their wife or husband because of life insurance. They end up hiring a hitman, and I'm like, are you guys dumb? Like, is prison worth it because you just want your husband or your wife's money because you just want that freedom? I just don't understand these dummies. I really don't. I tell my husband all the time, like, I would just simply get a divorce and split everything. But again, people are not thinking. They're just thinking about their own selfish needs, and they're thinking that they wouldn't get caught. They think that, they are so, it's like I said, premeditated. Like they knew every step that they're doing, that they know they're going to get caught. But eventually you're going to get caught. Okay? You're always going to get caught. You may not get caught right away, but eventually it catch up to you. It always does. Truth always wins. So, like I said with the whole cheating thing, um, it's not an accident. Okay, when someone said that, oh, I cheated, it was an accident. No, not an accident. It was premeditated. You knew exactly what you wanted to do. You can resist the temptations and the urge. If you feel like you're going to step out of your marriage, you talk to your wife or your husband. You let them know this is not working. We need to change something. We need to do something about our marriage, or we just have to go our separate ways. It's that simple. It's that simple. So I condemn people that cheat. I condemn it, that they do that and then they justify it. Oh, it happened one time. I'm so sorry, and start crying and begging for your forgiveness. It will never happen again. I'm so sorry. I love you. I love you so much. You just life. You just blah 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 blah. All bullshit. Okay. Like I said, once a cheater, always a cheater. And for me, I've been cheated on, and it shook my world. I fell into pieces, and I just ended it because I just knew once you made that choice to cheat and decide to betray my trust, my my loyalty, the rules that it's done. It's kaput. It's over. There's no way I can come back to that. Everyone is different, but I just feel like for me, there's no way coming back to that. And I just can't be with someone that I can look in your face day in, day out, knowing that you're just gonna do it again behind my back. How for me, what guarantee do I have? Your word? No. Okay. I'm not gonna trust your word after you just chose to cheat on me when you didn't have to. Again, you was thinking about yourself. You was not thinking about me and what how I was going to feel, how I'm going to go through this, and how it's going to affect me later on. That I might have trust issues with another person, which is not fair for the next person that I'm going to meet, because the next person that I'm going to meet probably nice, kind, most loyal person in the world, but because I got so messed up from my previous relationship that every man is a cheater, which is not true. Not all men cheat. Majority of them, just like not all women cheat, majority of them. Sometimes we pick those bad apples that we never thought in a million years that they would do something to hurt us behind our back, and eventually they did. That's why I can never understand like these celebrities that they marry these gorgeous women and vice versa men, and then they end up cheating on their significant other. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, what went wrong? Was it their personality? Did you miss something when you were dating? I don't know. And I'm not saying that that's all, obviously that's all glips and glams and stuff like that, but without the makeup and everything, they're beautiful inside and out. And I just don't understand why people do the things that they do, meaning cheating. I don't understand that. Like, what is the thrill of doing that? What's the whole reason behind cheating your significant other instead of communicating and talking? I never can understand that, and I would like to get some clarity of it because I don't get it. I really don't, and especially if you're a good person and you do everything right. Now everything is not going to be perfect in a relationship. There's always going to be up and down. But if you're loyal to that person to the T, and you've been there for that person through the ups and downs and everything, and then they do that to you, that's like a really slap on the face. That's like saying fuck you to them. Like, how could you do this to me? Like, I loved you. I did everything for you. I would even die for you. Not me, but some people say I will even die for you. And you would do that. You would betray my trust by you stepping out and sleeping with someone else. How can I come back to that? How can anyone come back to that? It's hard. It's hard. And there's no justification. There's not. There's not. I don't care how many times you say you're sorry or it never happened again. It was a mistake. Bullshit. Yes, you have to forgive. You absolutely have to forgive the person because you just don't want that to eat you up inside and have that bottling up, and then you have all that rage and anger and you have that bitterness because it's not benefiting you at all because that cheater just going to continue living his or her life and doing whatever he or she needs to do, but you're going to still continue to have that anger in your heart, and you shouldn't. And I know that's hard to do, to forgive someone who did dirty to you for, I don't know how long they cheated, not quite sure, but you get the point that I'm getting. You just have to learn to forgive that person and move on, and make sure that the next person, the next relationship that you get into, that you make sure that you let the person know up front, listen, I've been through a bad breakup. You don't have to give them the whole detail, but I've been through a bad breakup. He cheated, and that's one thing I'm not going to tolerate is cheating. If anything happens, meaning that if I find out that you cheated or whatever, I'm walking out. I'm leaving. And that's hard for people to do. Some women or men, they tolerate it. They tolerate their significant others cheating on them, which I don't understand that point. Maybe because that's all they know in a relationship. Maybe because they believe that person that's saying that they're never going to cheat again, that they love them and they're sorry, or because they're so comfortable in that relationship, they think that they're not going to find the next best thing. And that's so far from the truth. Okay, don't let any man or any woman think that they're the best thing that ever happened to you. That they're a piece of slice of bread, because they're not. There's other men and women out there that will treat you 10 times better. So don't let anyone gaslight you, manipulate you, so that they're the only ones, that they're the only one that loves you and care about you. That's totally bullshit, you guys. Okay, because they just want to keep you where they want you, and they just want to keep doing all this stuff behind your back and thinking that it's okay, which clearly it's not okay. It's absolutely wrong and disgusting and immoral, and no one should be cheated on, period. It's just the wrong thing. And if you feel like you can't be faithful, you feel like you can't commit, then be single. Why subject yourself to hurt someone who don't deserve to be hurt or deserve to be cheated? It doesn't make any sense. If you know that you're that type of person that you can't commit to one person, then maybe it's best for you to be by yourself. It's best for you to be by yourself and not hurt someone who potentially wants to be in a committed, loving, respectful, faithful relationship, that they feel like that person is the one for them instead of going through all the heartaches, because it's just awful. You know what I mean? And I see both ends, men and women, that people that I know, that they stay in a marriage or in a relationship because they love that person, or that person will change. The person loves me so much, it was just a mistake. And I disagree. I really do, because if that person really loved you, then they wouldn't cheat on you in the first place. And like I said, it's a choice, it's not a mistake, and it shouldn't have happened in the get go. And if they get the urge of the temptation, walk away. Think about it. And that's the thing. Most men or women, they don't think about it. They think about their feelings. They think about just getting laid or having that good old time, but they're not thinking about the consequences behind their actions. You know what I mean? They're not taking accountability that if they do actually go that route, they're not realizing how it's going to affect the children, the friends, their wife or their husband. They're not thinking about that. Right now, they're just thinking about at that very moment to get what they want, and that's it. And thinking that they won't get caught because they're going to be very careful, calculated, to the T that they're never going to get caught when eventually everyone gets caught when they're cheating. Okay, everyone, because us women, we have that good intuition. We know our man, vice versa. Men know their woman. They know. Okay, they know when something is off and something's just funny. We just know, especially women, we know these things. We're not stupid. So when things are a little off and weird, we do our investigation, we do our PI work, and we put everything together. And once we have all the evidence that's stacked against you, then we're going to lay it down on the table. Boom, you cheated. Like, get the F out of my house. That's me. Everyone is different. Me, I don't tolerate cheating. I really don't, because it's just disgusting. But yeah, cheating is wrong. It's not right. I don't care what anyone says. You cannot justify cheating on someone point blank, period. And if anyone says something differently, then they're crazy. Okay, they're crazy and they're wrong. They're probably a cheater themselves. Okay, unless, like I said, if you have an open marriage and you're both on the same page, that's one thing. But if it's a committed relationship and you do not want an open marriage, you don't want a throuple, then that's a problem. That's a problem. And that's all I'm going to say about that, you guys. Thank you so much for watching that set, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.